Okay, we're now joined by Rula Abisaab. She's a professor who has joined the protesters at McGill University, and she joins us now from Montreal. Thank you, Rula, for your time.
You're welcome.
So the police, we understand, have been called in to help out at campus today. We just saw from Jennifer's reporting there on the ground. It's very wet on the ground. What are you hearing about what is happening in that encampment tonight?
Well, the news about the injunction has not been received well. Obviously, the students and the professors supporting the students felt that this is a distraction. This is a way in which people want to deflect the situation and how serious it is at hand because of the demands of the students. The student demands have been very clear. They have been rational and moral. And the encampments themselves have been peaceful, and even, they are spaces for singing, dancing, doing teach-ins, doing workshops, showing films. And the professors, a number of professors, dozens of professors, have been very supportive, and some of them, of course, is sleeping in the tents in support of the students. So what we hear is that the students are standing steadfast. They are not pleased by the threatening emails and by the warning or by the injunction, but they know that these are merely distractions. That's what they are, away from the real situation, which is the call that has been made by the students at McGill and Concordia to the administrations to end their complicity with Israeli companies, to end their complicity economically and academically. So these are the points, these are the demands, and they laid them out. The proofs are out there, the arguments are out there, and there is nothing in this movement that actually violates the very democratic guidelines that we live under in Canada.
Rula, I did want to ask you, I appreciate very much you laying out your perspective on this protest and the peaceful nature of it, and certainly from the pictures that we have seen, there's nothing to suggest otherwise, though the university has talked about video tape showing anti-Semitic action on the part of someone involved in that protest. And as well, we have two students from McGill now who have gone to court filing an injunction, and they're saying that they feel that the encampment creates a dangerous and hostile and aggressive environment for students. What do you say to, that's not coming from the administration at McGill, that's coming from two other students on, I guess, the other side of this. What do you want to say to those other students?
It is a flagrant misrepresentation of the position and the ideals of the students themselves who organize the protest and are in the encampments. There is no clarity on who these particular persons are, who kind of uttered what seemed to be anti-Semitic statements. They could be bystanders, people coming by, joining the protest. Obviously, I do not see in all of the behavior, the guidelines of these students, especially the ones I'm talking, it's very important to emphasize that this is a joint effort by Concordia and McGill. We have the independent Jewish voices as part of this protest, as part of the encampment. So I think that there is something quite alarming about saying that only Zionist pro-Israeli positions represent the Jews. This is a flagrant misrepresentation of reality.
Well,
And so,
and that's not the point that I was trying to make. Yeah.
You're talking about the particular video. Now, the injunction is really, I think, done with bad intentions. I don't think that you can actually say that any of the protesters who organized it, who are actually in the encampments, they all have zero tolerance for anti-Semitism. Zero tolerance, right? This is their history. These are their guidelines. We know exactly what we are talking about. And the video is referring to something else completely, right? So it's very important to distinguish between those who are leading and holding and continuing with the protest and with the encampment and whoever these elements and these persons that were mentioned in the video. We have to distinguish that. And I think there is a deliberate attempt to actually kind of engage us and distract us. Like, here we are dealing with this video instead of talking about the genocide taking place against the Palestinians.
Well,
we are
Rula,
here talking about the video instead of talking about the over 37,000 Palestinians who lost their lives. You know,
and let me say,
that,
and making that making that distinction, that is why it's important to hear from a professor like yourself, who has been paying close attention to this. To that, I mean, you are a professor. There is someone is seeking a court injunction. We don't know how the judge is going to rule on that, but potentially this is going to come down to a legal issue. And then I'm wondering also, you're a professor at McGill. Do you have fear for professional repercussions if this? First of all, the university has told everybody to leave, and you're standing by it. So where do you stand on that? Are you?
I mean, we live in a
line be for yourself?
Society, right? We are using all the democratic means that we have in order to protest and to say no to genocide, no to complicity with genocidal activities, war crimes. And what we are doing is absolutely democratic. There is nothing that we or the students are doing that actually jeopardizes the very foundations of higher education that we have in Canada. In fact, they actually reinforce them. The students go out of the classrooms applying what they have learned in the classrooms, what they have learned about. Yes, go ahead.
If a judge does grant the injunction, if the police are brought in, what would you, as somebody who's maybe has more experience in this than the students do, what would you tell the students to do?
I mean, I cannot tell the students what they should do, honestly. They are their own leaders. What I can do is stand by them, support them, and say it is actually quite both sad and shameful for any attempt on the part either of the court or the administration to allow the police in, because bringing the police in means coercion and violence, in the face of a peaceful protest and a peaceful encampment.
Rula Abisaab, thank you so much. Rula Abisaab is a professor who has joined the protesters at McGill University. Appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you.